Now, the Economic Community of West African States has come up with a regional action plan on illicit drug trafficking. West Africa has become a major route for illegal drugs. Viewers Jeffrey Young has more on the new agreement and the impact on the region.
West Africa has been in recent years a major pathway for illicit drugs. There are also manufacturing labs in West Africa for methamphetamines and other drugs. All of it flows through this part of Africa because, according to drug policy analysts, conditions there enable such activity. One of them is International Drug Policy Consortium official Maria Coratiani, speaking to VOA via Skype.
You have very weak institutional structures. You have very weak border control. Patrol of our borders are very weak. Corruption is at its highest point. And so traffickers have seen these loopholes and they have decided to use West Africa as a transit zone to be able to carry drugs from Latin America to the western part of Africa.
West Africa's serious drug problem is being addressed head-on by ECOWAS. On September 5th, the group's interior and justice ministers approved a joint action plan to combat drug trafficking and manufacturing over the next 4 years. The states have agreed to step up arrests, drug seizures, and incarcerations. The plan also includes an emphasis on drug abuse prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation, which ECOWAS says, quote, are the most cost-effective means of reducing drug-related crime. The group's anti-drug plan is saluted by United Nations Office of Drug and Crime ECOWAS liaison Sheikh Touré via Skype from Abuja.
Mainly has this balanced approach in tackling the drug issues in the West African continent. So we are quite delighted to be partnering with ECOWAS in order to promote change and also bringing solution for West African member states.
One UNODC venture already underway that involves ECOWAS is the Container Control Program. The UN office says the massive volume of container traffic, more than 420 billion of them moving about worldwide each year, makes these shipping units attractive for smuggling illegal drugs. The UNODC says it works with governments to set up training at port facilities for what it calls risk-based profiling, identifying containers that may be hiding drugs. UNODC Sheikh Touré notes one of the recent payoffs of the Container Control Program.
In Ivory Coast, the law enforcement agencies of Ivory Coast, for the first time in their history, have claimed to seize close to 30 kilograms of cocaine in the containers. So basically, there are a lot of efforts into the containers programs to be made in West Africa.
While cooperation through multinational bodies, law enforcement, and focused attacks on drug cartels are deemed essential tools in addressing West Africa's drug problems, a number of NGOs say concentrating on these elements has not fully succeeded. One of them, via Skype, is the West Africa Drug Policy Network's Adeolu Ogarumbi in Abuja.
For so many years, the region, we've tried the use of repression, law enforcement, punitive measures to deter drug trafficking and drug consumption within the region. But this has actually not solved the problem. It has not reduced the quantity of drugs passing through the region.
Mr. Ogunrumbi and others say that what is needed along with laws and punishment is economic development that reduces the temptation for officials to take bribes that allow drugs to pass through, along with a holistic approach that addresses drug use as a health and education issue and not just a criminal matter. Without these changes, he says, drugs and the monies the drugs generate will not be suppressed. Jeffrey Young, VOA News.